Hey, what's up? This is David King from davidbking.com. Today I want to share with you kind of a cool historical thing from one of the most successful entrepreneurs of the, 19th century? I don't even know. Henry Ford, whenever he was alive and around. It's kind of cool. I live close to what's called the Ford Homes Historic District. And as you can see, I'm in this little kind of area right now. Actually, this is the neighborhood where the homes were originally built, on the original 150 plus homes. And as you can see here, they're older homes, but they're actually kept up very nicely. It's an awesome neighborhood, and here I'll actually show you this information over here real quick. Basically what he did was, the neighborhood was started in 1920, and Henry Ford built 156 homes for his tractor plant employees. The 2-, 3-, and 4-story homes were built with the most current materials and designs. It cost between $87.50 and $95.50. They financed the houses through Dearborn Realty Construction Company, the homes alongside these different streets or within walking distance to tractor plant. You can see kind of like the aerial view and what the front doors look like in the neighborhood and all this kind of stuff. So it's just kind of a cool historical thing you ought to know. Get it? You ought to know. Yeah, so this is several blocks from my home, from where I live. But yeah, so today I wanted to talk about failure. Good old topic of failure. It's kind of an interesting, topic to talk about because it's something that obviously no one wants to fail. We all want to succeed 24/7 and be like that dude on the movie Limitless and just continuously annihilate competition and be like the alpha male, alpha female, whatever, but we all fail, and it's part of life, and it's something we need to learn from and grow from. And if we don't, we continue to fail over and over again until we learn the lesson associated with that failure. That's my personal belief. So for example, the failure I'm going to share with you today was, when was this? I don't even know when this was exactly. This was last year. Not last year. Yeah, it was last year. End of 2012, and at the end of 2012 I was working with a partner in the online marketing arena, someone that is rather well known in the online marketing space, and we were working on developing a WordPress plugin. And basically the deal was we were 50-50 partners, and we were gonna I was gonna work with the developer to create the idea, because it was initially my idea, so I'd kind of see the vision through, and then he would fund the, I want to say it was like $7 grand or so, $7,500 to actually create the plugin. So what happened was the plugin was getting developed, and it was kind of taking a while because a lot of it was really my first time working with a full-time developer. So I guess it was a little bit of a learning process for me, and I probably could have moved a little bit quicker, but it just took a little bit longer than we expected, and a lot of things do in the development world, unfortunately. And because of that, the plugin was finished, but it wasn't completely. It wasn't really the beautiful product that would have been great to launch, if you will. It was a minimum viable product, for those of you that are familiar with the Lean Startup methodology from Eric's book, The Lean Startup. And so the plugin was done, but near the end of this partnership, me and himself and I got in some different kind of arguments around whose responsibility it was and why it wasn't fully complete and this and that, and it kind of turned into a blame game. It's your fault. It's And I try to take the responsibility for what I felt like I could have done better, but it wasn't a failure. Let's just put it that way, because there was a completed plugin, and it did work. It still works to this day. And this individual said they would mail their list for it and do all this stuff, and basically promised more than they delivered. That is what I felt. And what I learned from that process, and basically what happened was they mailed a small portion of their list, and we sold, I don't know, 20 copies or something, barely anything. And we sold the copies, and then what happened was basically after that it turned into more of a blame game. It turned into more of a kind of like a back and forth battle, if you will, that was just a blame game. Basically, it was this is your fault, this is your fault, and I wanted to really move forward with the project, so I got someone else involved that he knew personally to try to mediate, and it just did not work at all. He wasn't gonna budge. He wanted it to be my fault. I didn't really care whose fault it was. I just wanted to move forward, whatever. But what I learned from the process was, and what's interesting about it too, is this individual has, they've done well for themselves online. They make 6 figures a year online. They've sold couple $1 million in products and services and stuff online. So, they had done well for themselves, and for me to partner with them, it would have been good for my credibility, and it would have been a successful product, I think, that would have really, done well. Which would have been nice, because it was something I really wanted to see in the market. I felt like it could have helped a lot of people, and it would have been cool to see that succeed. Unfortunately, near the end, because of the fighting and the blaming and the this and that, the product wasn't actually launched. It was sold to 20 people or so, and then from there it was basically he didn't want to move forward because he didn't feel it was fully complete, and he didn't want to launch having me be the person taking care of and handling customer support and whatnot. And what I learned from that experience was, I learned a lot, actually. It sounds like, kind of like, oh, you probably didn't learn a lot from that, but I would say the biggest thing I learned during that process was to not allow people to treat you like shit. That was the biggest thing I learned, because during the whole process, throughout, me working with the developer, I was doing the best I could, and I was fulfilling what I felt, needed to be done. But near the end, when it wasn't exactly, where they wanted it, this individual just treated me like shit. They cursing me out, saying I don't know anything about business, this and that, and I would just listen and, wait for them to blow off their steam so we could try to continue and actually move forward with the project. And I just took shit for like a couple months, trying to work through it and figure it out, and because I feel like I'm a very workable person, and I just wanted to get past the blame game and the bullshit and actually launch the product. And what happened during that time was nothing more than just being treated like shit, and just treated like shit, basically, the whole time. And I just accepted it because I figured, if I can, get through all this bullshit, we can figure it out and launch it. But unfortunately, when you recognize that someone's character is not positive, it's not going to serve the greater good within a relationship, they're not going to stop treating you like shit, and they're just going to keep blaming you. Even if you did, like, let's say for example the product was actually launched and we created the product and launched this product, they would have treated me like shit when the product was launched and throughout the whole process, basically berating me and telling me, you're doing this wrong and you don't know anything about business, blah blah blah. So I realized that I'm actually thankful for the experience and that it did fail, because I learned that I can't allow people to treat me like shit regardless of who they are, what their name is, what they're known for. I don't really care. You're going to treat me like shit because I respect myself, and I respect myself enough to not allow you to treat me like shit. So that was the first lesson I learned from the experience, and I really put up with a lot of shit in order to try to make it happen and try to actually launch the product. But nothing came of it, and it was just a waste of time and waste of energy, and it was just a waste of time, energy, and during the process I was being treated like shit. So that was a huge learning lesson, because I wasted a lot of time, and it was a lot of negative time because I felt like shit. I felt stressed out. I was treated like shit. I embraced this negative energy. So it was more than time wasted. It was time wasted, and it was stress accrued. There's a lot of negativity that I kind of soaked up from the experience. So that was kind of the first thing I learned from the partnership, quote unquote partnership that failed. The next thing I learned was that, and this was actually the first, this was the first person who ever invested in an idea I had, for a partnership. The second thing I learned was I really view the way people invest in people differently. I think if someone is looking to invest in you financially, they obviously know that you're going to do something great, and they just want a piece of it. And just because they have a leg up on you with some money doesn't mean they should get a piece of your greatness. And I think that's important to understand and really kind of think about before you take money from someone as an investment. You can build your credit and get credit, line of credit from a bank, from a credit card. I mean, you can do so many things and not have to give up a piece of the greatness you are creating, a piece of your product, your service, your company, your vision. So there's a lot of that's a big book. There's a lot of reasons why I would say not to take money as an investment, and a lot of people are just chasing money to start their company, and I completely see it differently now. So that was kind of a big shift in my understanding and viewing why people would give you money to invest in an idea of yours and creating something. I would say those are probably the two biggest lessons I learned. Another lesson was to, and this is kind of crazy, but I looked up the astrology charts, of my astrology chart and this person's astrology chart. And I'm a Cancer, and they were Sagittarius. And I read in the online, you can read business compatibility between astrology charts. And I read that Cancer and Sagittarius, there's a very slim chance of it succeeding. And I thought, that's funny. I kind of laughed at it. I'm like, maybe I should pay attention to this. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going to go back in my history and read about this and actually understand this further. So what I did was I went back to the other partnerships I had, either currently or before that, and I paired the partner, my Cancer sign, zodiac, with their sign, and I read the business compatibility charts. And literally every single chart that I compared, except for the exception of one, which I'll explain in a minute, was completely right. They said, this will work, this won't. The partnerships I had good partners with, their birthdays were compatible with mine in the zodiac sign, and in astrology, business compatibility. And the only partnership that actually succeeded, which to some degree failed, but I brute force made it succeed, was my partnership with my brother, because I really wanted him to have a business online, and I really wanted to help him out. So it was a very difficult process. He's actually a Sagittarius too, so it's a very difficult process to help him to basically get going online and create his online business. So it succeeded. He made some money, but it still to this day could be doing much better. So I don't really see it as a major success. It makes money. It's not like a 6 or 7 figure business or anything like that. So but it makes money. It makes him a little money. It makes me a little money. It makes him more than me, because I in the beginning said, I'll take a small percentage, and I don't know why, because I did half the work, it felt like. But anyway, so it's kind of interesting how when you look at the different astrology signs and the business compatibility of your sign compared to your partner's sign, how accurate that was. I couldn't believe how accurate that information was. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to partner with someone, find their zodiac sign, compare your business compatibility. Just type in business compatibility, for me, Cancer and Sagittarius, or Cancer and Leo, or whatever it is, and you're going to find, you're going to read about and kind of understand. You're going to understand a lot more, and it's going to help you either pursue that partnership or kind of question it and look for possibly a better partner. So it's something I look at with every partner I have now. Every single partner that I potentially partner with, I look at their zodiac sign, I read about it, I read about my zodiac sign, and I compare the business compatibility of them both together to see how they would work together and the chances of that kind of relationship and partnership working out. So those were the learning lessons I got from that. And the project failed. It would have been, I'm sure, a 6-figure, it would have netted 6 figures a year, I'm sure, and done really well. And, I probably could have lived off of that one product itself if, it launched well and partners would promote it, which I'm sure it would have, because we both have a great network. So, but yeah, it didn't work out. So that was it was a good learning experience, several learning experiences, and you live and you learn. And I chose to forgive him for everything, and he deleted me as a friend on Facebook and all this kind of stuff. So we're no longer friends, but I'd be friends with him if he decided to be friends again. I would totally be a friend again. Past is past. I forgive everyone for everything, and it's might as well. You only live once, so might as well forgive and release and move on. So anyway, that's it for this video. Kind of rambled on and on, but there's a few lessons I wanted to share, and yeah, hopefully you got some value from that, and hopefully you enjoyed the sunny day through the video lens, and got some cool insight onto the Henry Ford experience and how he built homes for his employees when he first started Ford Motor Company. So I thought it was kind of cool. It's a cool neighborhood to walk through. There's a lot of, every home is unique, all the foliage and architecture and plants and trees. I mean, everything is so unique in this neighborhood, so it's a really cool kind of inspirational place to walk through. But yeah, so thanks for watching this video. This is David King from davidbking.com. Make sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and share this video. If you're on the blog, if you're not on the blog, go to davidbking.com, hit like and follow to see future videos, articles, and updates. And to see what I'm working on as an entrepreneur, the projects I'm working on. I'm currently working on a software startup with a partner who is the best partner I have ever had in the software game. So yeah, check that out on davidbking.com and see what I'm up to. I'd love to connect with you. Thanks a lot for your time. See ya.